And welcome back. It's Ellie in here, and today I'm going to be talking about that picture I just showed you on the thumbnail as well, describing the scene that kind of takes place on it, and so on, talking about the picture basically. Alright, so I'll summarize the scene where it's happening. Basically, Yin, my main character, also the girl on the very far right, she had a photo, a blackmail photo of Kyle, Crow, and Eric, which they're all basically escapists, which are usually negative people, creating chaos, but not bound to it. And in my story, where So's involved, escapists by the squad are now fun and happy people creating chaos. But they're still technically illegal, and the health program is after them. Health is HELTH, which is happy, euphoric, and liberally talented humans. And in Eden and Idol, health governs everyone's happiness, and anyone creating chaos is no-no. In this scene, page 82, chapter 9, Yin saying, finally deleting the photo in front of Kyle and Crow and Eric, but then she realizes she printed the photo. And she's like, yeah, whoops, I printed the photo too. And so all her faces are like, oh crap, really? And like, or, and they're like, yeah, like, what? Why would you do that? And she just said it was funny. And they're like, oh, we're so done. Give me that money back right now. Which she asked for it in trade of the blackmail photo. And she's like, no, I earned it fair and square. Which she got laughed at because it's supposed to be square and fair. And then, the fateful moment, a clang. And they all froze. And at the doorway, or the warehouse doors, stood a girl, Callie Kendricks. Now, she's not necessarily a part of the health program, but she definitely has a bestie in the health program, and that happens to be Sol Esther, the future Prime Minister of Eden and Idol. So, and then when she sees them, take this, Callie is terrified of escapists. Escapists is everything. She does not want to hear a single thing about it. And seeing them all dressed up as escapists, oh no, that's her breaking point. And she dropped something, and it clanged like real loud. Yeah, that's her purse. She has a pink purse. That's a self-defense purse. And she's like, why would you do this? And then she's like looking at them. And then they're like, oh, you got the wrong idea. And then she starts running. She books it. Absolutely books it. And Crow's just like, please don't tell anyone. Well, he's like, crying and screaming that. And then Kyle's like, did you just say please? He's laughing, but then his face fell. And he's like, oh man, we're royally screwed. And then they're complaining and complaining, but then Yin, she just laughs. Like, she laughs in their face. And they're like, how rude, and complaining about her now. And then she's like, you guys, why don't you go after them? Because they went after her when she found out their identities. Even though she didn't really know them. Callie, on the other hand, she knows them. That's why she's even more scared. She's like, I know these kids, and they're escapists. Bonkers. And so they don't go after her because she's a girl. And they also think she's sensitive, so they're like, nah, we can't mess with her. And then they do a group huddle. They're like group huddling right here. Here's Eric, here's Kyle, and here's Crow. They're all huddled up. And they're like, what do we do? What do we do? And then finally, they're also making fun of Yin right here, but finally they come up with a conclusion that since Yin can teleport with her wrist gadgets, she might as well help them. But what the condition is to join their group is that she has to create a really cool prank. And that's how the chapter ends. And then in the context of this photo, although they're wearing their escapist costumes and I didn't draw that here, I mean, but because Kyle usually wears a red shirt, he usually wears black and white. Well, for the first couple books, she has just this, like, black jacket because she has literally nothing else to wear, and he's wearing a blue shirt. Yeah, this is, like, basically all the reactions to seeing Callie, and she's like, what the frick, bro? And this happens a lot. They tend to get in trouble. They can tend to get really close to getting caught, I would say. And they try to keep their identity secret because, again, if they get caught by the health program, trying to make sure everyone's happy, the squad, they are pretty happy individuals, but causing chaos for other people, even if it's harmless pranks, is still, like, controversial in Eden and Idle, in Where Shadows Don't Fall. So the health program's still after them, and they want to keep their identities a secret. But they're all teenagers, and they don't know a thing about doing that, especially these boys, because, yeah, I wouldn't find them credible at all. The only reason why they're getting so far is by sheer luck. Sheer luck. But yeah, they felt pretty cooked in that moment. Alright, I think that concludes the video today, describing this photo and a scene from my book, and basically kind of what happens a lot in Where Snow Doesn't Fall in the first volume. They're just, like, running around creating harmless pranks and being goofy and all that stuff, but they're still kind of trying to keep their identity a secret. Well, the boys don't try that hard. Like, obviously they don't want to get caught, but they're like, yeah, they don't try hard enough. Alright, well, I guess that concludes the video. Thank you for watching. It's amazing having you here. Ellie and out.